To start on a serious note, I'm going to start with a spoken word that I wrote. It's a poem, and I would just ask that you listen to my story here. It's called Safe. I turn the key, click, my front door opens. Light little footsteps fervently approach as my little girl runs towards my arms. "Dad," she says, as she jumps up and down and with her hands outstretched. Pause. Little does she know I have yet to set down the physical and emotional baggage that I brought in with me from the day. But of course, I pick her up anyway. You see, my arms are never too full for this little girl. One cry is all that it takes for this dad to come running to his baby's side. "Dad, I want you." "I'm here." "Dad, I need you." "I'm here." "Dad, I'm scared." "I'm right here with you. You're safe." Safe. It's a simple yet indispensable word. The very essence of our ability to function as finite humans on this planet is to feel safe. It's a basic need, and indeed we all deserve to feel the real intangible notion that we are safe. Oxford Dictionary defines safety as protected from or not exposed to danger or risk, not likely to be lost or harmed. If I'm honest, I wake up many mornings wondering what will happen if this is the day that I don't come home to see my little girl. What will my wife do when she reads that I'm the next black man on the news who ran on the wrong road or reached for his wallet too quickly on a routine traffic stop? I worry. Will I come home today? It's a simple but always prevalent thought that constantly knocks the entrance of my mind. But I'm no stranger to safety. See, I've spent many years trying to make others feel safe around me. Meanwhile, my own safety somehow settles in the back seat. I don't say it, but I do everything in my power to communicate. I'm not like that kind of black person. You know the type. The dangerous, uneducated thug that makes you want to hold tight to your bag and cross to the other side of the street. No, I'm not like that. I'm different. I'm like you. I'm good. I'm not black. I mean, I'm not bad. I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, well, I do get mad sometimes, but I'm safe. I'm safe. Do I feel safe? No. Not at all. And I haven't felt safe for quite a long time. Dear board of directors, I don't feel safe. And I don't think that I am the only one. As a black man in America, I've learned what it means to live with the constant convincing of others that I'm not a threat. Meanwhile, I feel the potential threat every day as I enter the schools at which I work. Families forced to flee for fear that their kids have not and will not be safe in our schools. Parents stating strongly, "I hate it here." Don't you hear their cries? Or have you misinterpreted the size of the particular problem, patiently postponing as if maybe somehow it will all just go away? Let me be the first to say it's here to stay. We're here to stay. We need change today. Dear board of directors, what's it going to take? What's it going to take to see what's at stake? The safety and security of our precious kids. We elected you. We trusted you. You let us down. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but multiple times. Over and over. Why are you not listening? A community is insisting no, petitioning no, whistling a cry for help, begging you to act. Families are leaving. Students are walking, staff are grieving. The time for action is now, but how? Well, 3 students recently have already given you a plan. They've done the work. Now it's your turn. But where do we begin? We begin from within. And let me make this clear, you begin at the top. The unhealthy leadership in our communities must stop. Dear Board of Directors, what will be your legacy? Will you continue to not act on the desperate cries of a community in crisis, or will you stand with us now, no matter what the price is? Safe. Today, I'm going to share with you on the topic of Dr. King, Martin Luther King Jr. And as I share about that, if you want to pull up the slides, I'm going to talk about 3 values that Dr. King was passionate about. He was passionate and he advocated for a lot of things. But today we're going to focus on 3 values. Before I do, I'll share a picture of my wife. That's a picture of Harbor Point, probably about 15 minutes from this middle school. That's where I've been for the last couple of years. Before that, I was in Monroe High School, and you heard some of my experiences growing up and in my time and working with families in this area. That's a picture of my wife, Emily, and my daughter, Aria. Like Janelle said, we have a son who is shortly going to be with us next month. And as I share that with you, I feel as if I have so many things to be grateful for. I have an incredible job where I get to hang out with kids similar to your age, an amazing staff, great family. But I want to also acknowledge that I've also been a victim of racism, of stereotypes, of microaggressions. And why I mention this on this day is because when we're thinking about Dr. King, when we think about Dr. King and his work on equality, on peace, on justice, it is obvious that we have come ways from where we were. And it is also apparent to me that we have ways to where we need to be. Mm-hmm. Say, equality.
Equality.
We'll try it again. Say equality.
Equality.
Equality is treating everyone with fairness. Say peace.
Peace.
Peace is solving problems without fighting. Say justice.
Justice.
Justice. Standing up for what's right. We're going to spend some time looking at 3 quotes by Dr. King, and I believe that by looking at these 3 quotes, and if we follow Dr. King's, if we follow his example, equality, peace, and justice, you and you can make your school better, your neighborhood, your home, and ultimately our community and our world a more better and safer place for all to belong. In that poem that I just read you, I hope you heard that I was honest with you. I was vulnerable. And I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but I also want to acknowledge, before I go any further, that as I shared those words, my experience in that poem, I want to acknowledge that there are students in here, there are some of us in here, who have experienced things that I said in that poem. And you too, either yourself, or maybe someone that you love or care about has experienced not feeling safe. But I also want to recognize that there are those of us in this room, and maybe you have never experienced what it feels like to not feel safe as it relates to your race or ethnicity. And so we all come into this space with different experiences, backgrounds, and yet we all have a responsibility to tackle these issues. Right?
Right.
And so the first, say equality.
Equality.
Oh, you're going to try that again. Say equality.
Equality.
That's a little better. Dr. King said this. He said, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Raise your hand if you've ever heard that quote before. It's a pretty popular quote by MLK. And when I think of equality, I think of fairness, treating people with respect. When I think of someone I respect, it's someone that I value. I think that they're worth it, or I honor them. And while I think that that was what MLK and Dr. King, what I think it was what he was striving for, yes, we have come ways towards creating a society of equality. And we still have much work to do where we are treating others with fairness and with respect. But what does this look like? What does this look like at Eisenhower? Well, it might look like you including everyone in your conversations in your class. Mm-hmm. It might look like you reaching out to someone that looks, thinks, or acts different than you too.
Right.
Because that's just part of being a human, is we gravitate and move towards people that look like us, think like us, talk like us. Mm-hmm. And so if we're focused on equality, it's going to challenge us to put ourselves out a little bit and start to maybe walk across the lunchroom and sit by someone that doesn't look like you. Or maybe it just starts with you saying hi to someone in your class that you don't usually talk to.
Right.
Right? Say peace.
Peace.
Oh, we gotta try it again. Say peace.
Peace.
All right. We're not, well, let me share this story. Dr. King shared many talks, speeches, sermons throughout his life, right? And one of the times that he was giving a talk, I think he was actually giving a sermon at this point at a church near his home, one of the people that opposed him came with an explosive, and they came to his house and they threw it in, and it exploded the front part of his house, while his wife and 7-month-old baby were at home. I don't know how many of you guys are like this, but is anyone like, if you mess with me, that's one thing, but if you mess with my family, is anyone protective over their family?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not the only one?
No.
Some of you guys are just like, no, you can have my family. Cool. Okay.
Nope.
Hey, for me, if I am being honest with you, there's one way to get me real mad real quick, and that's to mess with my wife or to mess with my kid. Don't mess with my family. And so I'm just being honest with you. If I was Dr. King and I heard someone blew up my house, tried to blow up my house and hurt my family, you better believe that I'm getting there quick. And I feel like I want to retaliate. I think a lot of us might feel that way. And yet, Dr. King did the very opposite. There was a group of 300 different supporters of King, and they too wanted to say, hey, let's go get these guys. Let's find out who it is. Let's get even. And what did King do? He didn't do nothing. But he talked to them. He talked them down, and he said, no. We're not going to do that. This is actually what he said. We're not advocating for violence. We want to love our enemies. We want you to love our enemies. Be good to them. Love them and let them know that you love them. That's a tall order. That's a tough challenge. It's one thing to be nice to someone, but it's another thing when someone hurts you or hurts people that you love, to love them. That is hard. And yet that is, I think, the challenge that peace gives us, right? That we can solve problems without turning to violence. And so what does this look like at EMS? It might look like actively listening, right? To see and to listen to someone else's perspective, not so that you can argue and say your point, but so that you can try to understand where they're coming from. It also might look like, and I've spoken with a number of students who end up in my office, and we talk about why they got suspended maybe the week before, and maybe they were like, well, someone did something to me, and so, I popped them. It happens. Fights happen, right? That's one way to handle it. Like, I pushed them. I shoved them. When someone does something to us, it's sometimes natural to feel like we want to retaliate. And yet peace challenges us to not retaliate with violence. Say justice.
Justice.
This is the last one. Say justice.
Justice.
King said this while he was in jail in a letter. It says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Yes. We're caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one affects all indirectly. So I believe Dr. King knew that if one of us is suffering, we can't just ignore that. I know he knew that because he wasn't just a strong advocate for civil rights, but he went on to focus the majority of the last half of his life to things like economic justice and international peace. See, Dr. King knew that it wasn't okay while something wrong was happening, it wasn't okay for him to ignore it. And justice means that we stand up for what's right. What does this look like here at AMS? It might look like standing up, not might, it does look like standing up for bullying, standing up for racism, standing up when you see someone picking on someone in the hall. It's so much easier to just keep on moving and keep walking. It's a lot more difficult to say something. It's very difficult to go and report something, because most of the time you don't want to feel like the snitch. I'm just keeping it real with you. We don't want to say something because then we get at risk of what our reputation, how we look. But I believe that Dr. King would challenge us with justice. Justice means don't just stand up when it's easy.
Right.
Stand up because it's right.
That's right.
And that's often going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It will take your time, and it might cost you your reputation. Say justice.
Justice.
Say equality.
Equality.
Say peace.
Peace.
All right. We're going to finish like this. I'm going to have the ASB student leaders come up. This is your time. And we're gonna try something. We'll see if it works. Okay. Let's see. Do you guys want to make a circle or do you want to do it in a line? It's up to you. Semicircle. So what we're gonna do in a moment, they're gonna lead themselves in a little bit of a chant. It's gonna sound like this, and they're gonna start like a slow clap. I'll put it up on the screen so everyone can see it too. 3 words. Say equality.
Equality.
Say peace.
Peace.
Say justice.
Justice.
We're gonna start like this. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice.
Equality, peace, justice.
No, wait.
Not yet? Okay.
Because you're gonna have your turn. Just these guys.
Okay.
Okay. You wanna try it?
Yeah.
Start it off and get a little bit faster.
Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice.
All right. Nice job. That was perfect. Now here's what I want you to notice. Was it loud?
No.
We could hear them.
Yeah.
And you guys did a great job. Like, you didn't mess up. You did way better than I do. But now I want to enter, I'd like 6th graders. If you're a 6th grader at Eisenhower, stand up on your feet. I want you to listen to these guys. We're going to test your rhythm. We're going to do this chant again. When they say the chant, I want you to do it with them. And when I hold up my hand, we're going to stop, okay? Ready? One more time. Let's try it again.
Equality, peace, justice.
Equality, peace, justice. I can hear you. All right. And pause. That was loud. Stay standing, 6th graders. Stay standing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the mic up so that you can hear them a little bit better. Because I heard that it was louder. Do you want to or do you want me to? Okay. I'll help you guys. Because I heard we were loud. Was it louder?
Yeah. It was a little louder.
I don't know if we were together.
No.
7th graders, stand up on your feet. 6th grade and 7th grade. We're going to try this again. Make sure you're listening. Make sure you're clapping. One more time. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, louder. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. All right. Pause one more time. You guys are good. You think we can do it louder?
Yes.
8th graders, stand on up, okay? We need your voices. This is the last time we're going to do it. We got better the 2nd time. Can it get louder the 3rd time? Oh, you guys don't sound like you're awake. Can it get louder the 3rd time? All right. Let's try it one more time. Senate, here we go. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, justice. Equality, peace, louder! Louder! piece for you. I'm gonna wait for everyone to be quiet so you can hear me. You guys were loud. That was an excellent job. I want you to notice though, it's one thing for these leaders up here to clap their hands, to stand before you, and to use their voice. It's a whole nother thing for us all to stand up together, to clap our hands, and to use our voice for something important.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you. All right? Thank you.